And welcome to it, the first ever video edition of A Work in Progress. I'm Rob Hunter. This is Joe Huizenga. There he is. We're going to do 3 issues in, I don't know, somewhere north of 3 minutes, somewhere south of 5 minutes. We're just going to figure it out as we go along.
Unless we screw it up.
Then we'll edit it and you'll never know. Maybe we'll put the outtakes on the YouTube. Who knows?
Take that.
Our first issue, President Obama is expected tomorrow to come out and release his big plan to save the country money and reduce the size of government. He's not expected to come out with his own plan, Joe. He's expected to sort of endorse this deficit commission plan, which included higher retirement age, higher taxes, and less government spending. So, do we really think we as Americans want smaller government?
I think we like to talk that we want smaller government. I know you want smaller government. I'd like to have some smaller government. But everybody out there loves to complain that they want more from the government, but yet they don't want to pay into it. So I think it's all talk.
Here's some numbers. 46% of Americans get some type of federal benefit. 46.5 million are on Social Security. 42 million, almost 43, are on Medicare. Another 42 million on Medicaid. 36 million people are getting food stamps. And 12.5 million people are getting housing subsidies. You really think Americans want smaller government? I don't think so. Here's the other thing, Joe. 74% of Americans want more spending on education. 60% want more federal spending on health care. 57% want more on Social Security.
But no one will pony up for that.
Nobody wants to pay more taxes.
So what's the answer?
The answer is we're going to go until we get bankrupt and can't afford the problems anymore. Unfortunately, that's what I think the case. Unless a politician can make the case that we need to do these now and convince us that we need to make sacrifices.
Paul Ryan's trying.
Paul Ryan's trying. Hopefully he'll succeed. If not him, maybe Obama. Anybody, please.
Issue number 2 out there, Rob. We've got this story from LZ Granderson. He's talking about ignorant people. And we've heard this debate before. He throws the idea out there that if you don't know what you're voting on, you basically shouldn't be able to vote. If you're ignorant, no vote for you.
So he recommends maybe a test, like a citizenship test type thing, where you, before you go to the polls, you got to answer 10 questions?
He recommends exactly that. And to that, I say, what's the point of history class and freaking government class if we're going to make people take another test?
I agree. I think on a surface level it appeals to us that we don't want dumb people to vote because look at the mess we get in this country. But at the same time, do you test every year or is it like a driver's license? You get it, you're good to go. And just knowing how the system works doesn't mean you actually follow what's going on in the day-to-day issues, so you could still be a dumb voter even if you know that there's 3 branches of government.
Yeah, I get it for citizenship. To become a citizen, you have to be able to pass some sort of test. To be able to advance through the grades in school, you have to be able to pass some sort of test. But at what point is enough enough? I mean, I think he has good intentions, but you can't take it that far. I mean, okay, so you pass this threshold, but you don't pass this threshold.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, you're an adequate voter, but you're not an elite voter.
I think instead we should encourage people to get more involved, and at the end of the day, we reap what we sow. Whatever we vote for, it reflects on us. So ultimately, if this country looks like a bunch of idiots, maybe it's because we're a bunch of idiots. The third issue, Joe, deals with driver's licenses in schools. South Carolina is the latest state to jump on board in this, requiring high school kids getting driver's licenses to attend school. If they miss school 7 times, no driver's license. Good idea, bad idea?
Same thing as the ignorant voter thing. Good intentions, horrible execution of it. People don't realize that the consequences of trying to do some of these things. I mean, you go out there and you say, okay, if you miss school 7 times, now you lose your driver's license. Well, what if you aren't in school? What if you just work a job?
Right.
And like, okay, so you're not in school. Now, if you miss the first 7 days, you just automatically lose a license. What if you have to drop out to, tough times?
Take care of your family or something, yeah.
Economy's tough. Or, you have to stay home and take care of someone.
2 things I don't like about this. Number 1, it's government control more than we already have. It's basically bribery. If you go to school, you can have a driver's license. If you don't, too bad. And the government schools primarily aren't really doing a good job. So this is their way of making kids go to school. So instead of changing the way we do schools, we're going to make kids go to school and they're going to be bored and they're going to hate it. And hey, that's the only way you can get your driver's license.
3 issues, 3 minutes. He's Rob Hunter. I'm Joe Huizenga.